Okay, I wanted to go over the components of a statement of cash flows briefly with you. This is actually a really complex statement to do that you need to know a lot about accounting to be able to do it. So unless they really give you the numbers, it isn't really a fair call. But the one thing that you should know is how to classify the accounts. Excuse me. So when you look at the statement, you want to think to yourself in the first place that there are three major sections on here. First is cash flows from operating activities. Okay, and look at the names. They've got cash receipts from customers. Those would be inflows, okay? Cash payments to creditors. All right, that's what that is. And then finally, the net cash flow, the net of the two of them. So we've only got, in this case, just two accounts here. Usually there are more, but that's okay. So this is what we got. This is our cash flow. How much cash came in from operations, from what we do. Okay? And this comes from current assets and current liabilities. That's where those accounts are. So current assets will take your cash, your accounts receivable, all those things are here, and then current liabilities are here. So that's where all of your I'm gonna put out, let's see, all of your working I'm going to insert a text box. Can't find it. Data. Our text box not happening? Well, you know what I'll do? I'll just do it here, right here. Just merge it. Bold. Okay, so this is working capital. Capital for operating activities. Okay? So working capital for operating activities. From those two areas. Makes sense, right? Just tell me it does. Okay, then we've got, look at the one for investing activities. Remember in class we talked a little bit about this saying if. So for long-term assets are the I, and then long-term liabilities and changes in owner's equity, that is the F. Spells if. So these are all investing activities, and all we can do in here is purchase assets or sell assets. Okay, that's about it. Okay, long-term assets. So down here, these are going to be investing activities. And these two, I'm going to put it down here in equity. These two are going to be financing activities. So it pays, and it'll pay off if you just make yourself think for a little bit about what's in here. These are financing activities. For current assets and current liabilities, it's going to be getting cash from customers and paying suppliers. That's what all of this is about. Okay? And then if we look at long-term assets, these are investing activities. And what do we do here? We purchase assets. So that would be a cash outflow, and we sell assets. That would be a cash inflow, okay, in terms of cash. So cash comes in, goes out if we buy stuff, and goes out, it comes in if we sell it. And then for long-term liabilities, and I might make this whole thing the same color. We're going to treat these the same way. Long-term liabilities, these are all financing activities. Okay. I've got to make it complicated. So that would make the most sense. All right, these are all financing changes in any of these accounts. So if it's a long-term liability, we can borrow. We can borrow funds. Jeez. Borrow cash, or we can pay cash back. I goofed on that one too. Okay, so we can borrow cash or pay cash back. And for owner's equity, what we do down here is we pay dividends. Or we could sell stock. That's the other thing we do. Okay, so how does that sound? Does that sort of make sense to you? You know, you don't want to do this whole thing. Trust me, you really don't. It's involves the balance sheet. It's really a lot of work to get this right, even when you're an accounting major, you know. So for investing activities, we're going to have purchase assets, sell assets, anything that affects long-term assets down here. And for financing activities, it's going to be long-term liabilities and owner's equity. And the language, just look at the words that are used. Okay, so borrow cash, pay cash back. And for owner's equity, pay dividends or sell stock. This would be a cash inflow. The payment of dividends would be an outflow. Okay, so classically, like if you know this, you're going to be fine with it. Okay, so how about for current assets? We'll say receive cash from customers. Cash from customers. Cash from customers, and down here for current liabilities, I'll take this and move it up. Goof everything up here. For current liabilities, I'm going to say cash paid to suppliers. All right. So let's take a look at the solution that we have over here and relate. This is our chart. Let's relate the solution to it. This was from the homework. So for operating activities, I've got cash received from customers. Okay. Cash payments for expenses and payments to creditors. Okay. So to suppliers, I've got here, let's call it creditors so it kind of maps. Same thing. You owed money to both of them, you know. And then for investing activities, they paid cash to purchase land. All right, so that would be an increase in a long-term asset. And for financing activities, here we've got receipt of owner's investment. In other words, he sold stock. That's a cash inflow to an organization. Cash withdrawal by the owner. Okay, this is a sole proprietorship. So cash withdrawal by the owner, that's similar to pay dividends. And then we've got a net. And what we do then was we add the beginning cash balance, subtract the ending cash, and add the beginning cash balance to this, and we should arrive at what the actual ending cash balance is. Okay, so for dividends, I'll also say withdrawals. Okay, sell stock or owner invests. Yeah. Alrighty, so I hope this helps. I know it's really complicated, and I for sure I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire on this one. I think it's a real tall order unless you're really working with it, you know. If you're really working with it, then it's a different story, but that's not really our focus. Okay.